That was very much around making sure that we shared the same values. And again, it comes back to moral purpose. We wanted the very, very best, not just for our children in our schools, but for the children in the city of Stoke-on-Trent. And that was quite clear from the beginning. With the facilitation we had from Worcester University, we spent a very, very long time developing our values and what we wanted from the collaboration. I think it probably took us about 8-9 months before we sort of got that real deep-seated understanding of what we all stood for and what we all wanted to stand for.
I think believing in the value of school-to-school collaboration as a serious vehicle for improving learning in schools. So we all had to believe in the value of it, and once we had started building relationships, we had to then grow the relationship. Somebody said earlier in one of the conversation groups that it was like a period of courting within any relationship. And it was sort of like that. You're finding out more about each other. You're spending more time with each other. You're planning nice events together. So before this formal collaboration, we were doing things like bringing our schools together and visiting each other's schools and sending children to each other's schools, etc. We were inviting each other as the heads over to look through books with one another and have conversations about what we were seeing in each other's classrooms and in each other's schools. So the groundwork really had already begun, I think. So when we came together more formally, and initially we were a different six, and another school came in, someone who hadn't historically had a relationship with anybody before, and who hadn't worked with another group of schools before. So it was like a changing dynamic, I suppose, that we had to redefine for ourselves and grow together. So we had to invest a lot of time in building that relationship to get to a point where you would feel, really easy about laying bare your soul, really, and all the things that were not just positive and great about your school, because we had lots of those to share, but really what the issues were, what the obstacles were, what the challenges were, and being really honest. You had to have real trusting relationships to be able to do that, to begin to really collaborate. And I think we've got a way to go. I certainly think that we are much, much further forward than we were 2 years ago, without a shadow of a doubt. But we have all had to take it seriously, and we have had to commit the time to meet, the time to do the reading outside of the meetings, the time to discuss things outside of, as well as inside the meetings that we have. And make sure that events are timetabled and secured in diaries. Massive amount of commitment. But you can only get that if you believe in what you're doing. And I think that was the first starting point, to believe in it, that it had a value.
The time we allowed to do this over the first year, we took a day a month, so 10 days over the year, which was a big commitment for all the schools. If somebody missed one session, it was very unusual. The commitment was there from the start, to put the dates in the diaries and turn up. Because we valued the days, people kept turning up, and we extended the Worcester University work beyond the first year into the second year, and we've also extended it into our deputies working together in a similar way.
And the preliminary of that was the element of trust we had. Jonathan mentioned earlier, we got on as friends over a period of time, very, very used to working together and seeing ourselves as an effective unit. and Worcester and the Trust have just built on that history and extended it, as Jonathan says, to the deputies, to subject network that we're developing, and building on the peer-to-peer support.